another thrilling season in the First Division, and now you can enjoy the action all over again. The great goals, the spectacular saves, the triumphs, the disappointments. It's all captured on video. There's your team's season in pictures. Goals galore and saves galore. The best and worst of the season. Plus, race for the championship, how the title was won. Football League videos, official and exclusive. And remember, last season's collection is still available.
Welcome to Saves Galore. We've got some outstanding goalkeeping action lined up for you in the next hour or so. 110 of the best saves made in the First Division of the Barclays League this season, plus one or two blunders that you'll probably enjoy, but the keepers concerned would definitely prefer to forget. In this video, you'll be able to see 29 different goalkeepers in action, plus one or two defenders getting in on the act as well. And with me to analyse the saves, we've got a goalkeeping great. Liverpool, Tottenham and England. It's Ray Clements, of course. Ray, it strikes me that we've still got our goalkeeping greats, the Shiltons and the Southalls, but the overall standard this season has probably been higher than ever.
Well, I think that shows the number of goalkeepers that we've actually going to see today, in terms of there is 29 goalkeepers featured, as you mentioned before. And besides the Shiltons and the Southalls and the Grobbelars and the Besants and the Seamans, it's nice to see young goalkeepers featuring in this video, the likes of Tim Flowers at Southampton, Nigel Martin at Crystal Palace and Alec Chamberlain at Luton, all who make exceptional saves, and I think that's good for the future of English goalkeeping.
Thanks a lot, Ray. Well, every club in the First Division is represented in this video, and as a bonus, we got a couple of outstanding saves from the second as well. Let's kick it all off with our August collection.
At Wimbledon, a former hero returns. Besant's back brilliantly. And last season's top performer picks up where he left off, as Southall stops Spurs. We begin, though, with the goalkeeping godfather, starting with Shilton.
Peak did well to get there, and Mackenzie's got room to line one up, and Peter Shilton moved very sharply to keep that one out.
Wise with the kick. O'Cork's lost his marker. Good header and a very good save from Dave Besant.
Barnes has made the run. Ian Rush with a chance. Great save by Devil. Collected now by Howells, who tries one. David Howells saw a gap, and but for Southall's agility, he would have found it.
Dawes is arriving square. Here he is. Briley got up. Oh, a great save. A lovely teasing ball in from Dawes. Briley got a good head on it, and just the fingertips from Boulder.
For Robson, Brian Robson for Manchester United, and it was a real duel there between the two great England friends, but Shilton won it.
Burrows having a look, and Rush is the target through the middle. Here's Barnes having a look. Oh, he tried to chip Chamberlain, who did very well to get back.
So Colin Walsh lining up the corner, McLaughlin! Nigel Spink with a phenomenal save. It was a good height for goalkeepers, but the pace of the header really deserved to beat him, but Spink refused to be beaten.
Oh, here's Strachan, deflected, and Genner made a marvellous save. That's nice. Strachan's frustration understandable. It's a great stop from Genner.
Wimbledon on the charge. Fashanu flicking on from Sagers. Typical Wimbledon football, leading to a strike on goal from Wise and the save from Horn.
Here's Parker, and Hodge in some space. Might try one. He did. Oh, it's a good stop from Shilton. Crisply struck by Steve Hodge. Not too many beat Peter Shilton from that sort of range. The keeper right behind it.
Newell. McCall. McDonald wanting to get in on the act, and Chris Turner at full stretch from Neil McDonald.
Clark, nice touch, and Wright's in, must score. Oh, Chamberlain did ever so well. And Paul Wright leads the applause. Parker's away down that right-hand side. Here's Spankman, marvellous save. Spankman can't believe it, but Chamberlain is having an inspired afternoon.
Bannister battling for it against Gale. Emerson in there as well. And Manchester City at the moment struggling to get it away. Back from Burrows. Bannister first time. Cooper kept it out. City in problems of their own making here. It was a cracking effort on the turn by Bannister.
Well, Ray, a couple of saves there I know caught your eye. The last one from Paul Cooper, a fellow who's been around a very long time and showing he's really lost none of his agility.
Yes, I think it just goes to illustrate that goalkeepers do get better with age, because Paul Cooper is now probably in his late 30s, I think. But the save that he makes here from Gary Bannister is an exceptional one. The ball is played in here by Brian Burrows, who is now standing right back there for Coventry. And Bannister hits it first time there. And there's Cooper, who is not the biggest goalkeeper in the world, but tremendous agility for a man in his late 30s, and springs off his right foot and manages to flick the ball over the top of the bar. A good save.
Well, Ray, another keeper who's done the rounds, I think he's been playing quite a lot of the season with an injury, is Terry Genno at Blackburn Rovers.
Yes, it mustn't be seen to be biased in this video, but the first two goalkeepers are both in their late 30s. And Terry Genno, as you rightly say, has had a bad right knee injury for all season. Has found it difficult to actually train a lot. But we actually see here against Leeds United that Gordon Strachan, who had an outstanding season for Leeds, strikes a ball there, it's deflected, and Genno moves both feet very quickly and athletically stretches up his right hand to push the ball away. I'm sure he's pleased with the save, although Gordon Strachan's initial reaction doesn't look like he is, but I'm sure that he was laughing and joking that it was such an outstanding save from Genno.
Into September now, on an away day, Flowers saves the Saints. Plus two more from England's first choice, one of which really special, a stunner from Schiltz. And Chelsea's star striker foiled as Lukic denies Dixon. Let's start the action with the Chelsea keeper.
Allen slipping Moncau, Lineker to the right, but Allen wants to shoot, and Besant at full stretch is able to turn it aside.
Sinton might try one. Oh, Shilton made it look easy.
Bright header, claimed spectacularly by Flowers. Beardsley, Barnes and Burrows forming a little triangle for Liverpool. And still, there's a little example there of the quality of Liverpool. As if there hadn't been plenty of those before. And On his hat-trick, Southall this time wins out for Everton.
Mike Duxbury. McClare. Danny Wallace. Got past White, went past Fleming as if he wasn't there. Wallace! Good save by Paul Cooper. What a run by Wallace. He's naturally right-footed. He prefers to play on the left because he loves to cut in like that.
The corner taken by Gray, by McMinn, back where it had come from. Oh, and that's a marvellous save by Shilton from David Platt. From that range, once Platt had made contact, he must have felt that he'd scored. But you have to reckon on those circumstances with Shilton. Has it? And that's the sort of pass that Kerry Dixon loves. Dixon for Chelsea. And Lukic had to flip it over the top.
Ray, we've seen the maestros in great form in September. Let's look once again at that Neville Southall save from Ian Rush.
Yes, the ball is actually played through here from Stevie Nicol, and Rush takes it on his thigh and shrugs off the Dave Watson challenge. And he now looks up for Neville Southall to come rushing out, but Neville just comes and stands and gets to the right position. Rush looks up again, hoping for him to commit himself, but still Neville does probably one of the most difficult things for a goalkeeper to do, and that's stand in the right position, make yourself as big as possible and say to the centre forward, go on, beat me. And he doesn't manage it.
And Peter Shilton, at the age of 40, has still got the reflexes of a teenager, and he showed that against Aston Villa.
Yes, this save is from a Gordon Cowan's corner kick. Gordon's very accurate from these. As the ball comes in, Platt gets away from his marker, and I mean Schultz has only got a split second to react to that. I mean, it's from inside the 6-yard box, and he managed to shoot out his right hand, and he's obviously very strong in his arms and his wrists, and he just manages to deflect the ball over the bar. I'm sure that if we actually ran on with that film, we might see Schultz saying one or two words to his defenders how Platt actually got in that close to get a header.
It's autumn now as Liverpool's keeper denies Wimbledon's Polish import. Grobs defies Detsy. There's a fine showing from the Millwall keeper, Brian Horn, pride of the Lions. A spectacular performance from Tottenham's Norwegian international against Liverpool. It's Eric the Acrobatic. Into October then, starting at Scarborough's tiny athletic ground.
Pennyworth's free kick. Saunders. Shot by Graham, what a tremendous effort. It came to Brook and he nearly did earn himself a name. Tremendous effort from Graham.
Fashanu trying to bring it down. Krasinski has the shot, and a very good one too. We're seeing more of Wimbledon in the final 5 minutes of the first half than we've seen in the previous 40. And Detsy Krasinski on his birthday very nearly marked it in magnificent style.
Clark forward, that's a good ball in for Kerry Dixon. Lovely ball. Kerry Dixon, a great save by Gunn. That was a superb bit of play by Brian Gunn and by Dixon and Clark. Norwich moving around well and keeping good possession. Here's Ian Crook. Chip forward to Dale Gordon. Dale Gordon with Lee. Dale Gordon pulling it back, and here's Phillips. A great save. Besson didn't know where it was. Comes to Dale Gordon on the right-hand side of the penalty area. He does his trick on Lee, pulls one back for Phillips. The goalkeeper saves it, then loses it, isn't sure where it is. Luckily, he recovers first. For Tim Sherwood, that's a good ball over the top for Dale Gordon. Dale Gordon can go, and Moncal gets one challenge in. Can he pull it back now? And Phillips, another brilliant Besson save. A terrific bit of play on the right-hand side by Dale Gordon. Lovely through ball in the first place. Phillips gets the ball eventually, with Gordon showing patience. Lovely volley, and instinctive save by Besant.
But they've neglected right. And that could be very, very costly. Horn could only push it out. Following in was Andy Gray. Still celebrating. They nearly found their joy abruptly cut short. That's bright! Oh, wonderful save by Horn. Mark Bright knew exactly what he was doing, catching the goalkeeper off his line, but Horn repositioned very quickly.
Picked up here by Whelan. Beardsley. Played again into the path of Whelan. And tipped away well by Flowers.
Morley. Ken Redfern says play on. White. Fleming. Fleming again. This is Bishop. And it'll come for Allen. And Besant keeps Chelsea on level terms. And Clive Allen, who is normally so efficient with chances, will regard that as a very good one. But Besant kept his goal intact.
Merson, what a lovely turn. And a great strike, denied by the master. Thomas forward, and Merson getting a lot of space on that right-hand side. Dixon's behind him, here is the full-back, well hit! Oh, there's no way past Shilton, it would seem.
Barber looking for Thomas. Oh, it's come down for Wright and might have ended in the back of the net, but for Nigel Spink. Just pumped forward by Barber, and Wright wrapped his right foot round that volley.
Beardsley. Brandon Howe. Foul given. Barnes, first to show. A terrific shot and a superb piece of goalkeeping by Torsfit. What brilliant skills by Barnes, though. Barnes once more. Beardsley. It's a good shot, a terrific save, too. That bounced just ahead of Torsfit. And on this wet surface, that really gathered some pace. And he held it well. Just as Liverpool are playing this well. Here's Barnes again, the little chip through, Houghton again! Will Beardsley get there? The flag is up. But for all that, terrific reactions by Eric Torsfit.
Well, Ray, some good stuff there from Eric Torsfit, the man you recommended to Spurs. But I want to talk to you about the fellow who succeeded you at Anfield, Bruce Grobbelaar. People have very set opinions about him. What's yours?
Well, I think he has his critics around, but there's nobody that plays 10 years in goal for Liverpool unless you're an excellent goalkeeper, and Bruce has done that. And I think people who do criticise him possibly over his decisions over coming for crosses. But to be fair to Bruce, he comes for more crosses than any other goalkeeper in the league, so he's every right to make the occasional slip, I think.
And I think coming up, Ray, we've got the best and the worst of Bruce. First of all, an outstanding save from the Pole, Krasinski.
Yes, it all starts when Fashanu knocks the ball across to that Polish player you just mentioned. And we see Bruce there, that marvellous acrobatic save there with his right hand. And when we can actually see it from behind the goal as it comes up now, you can actually see that as the ball is struck here by Krasinski, that Grobbelaar arches himself so far backwards Really, any gymnast would be happy with this save, I think. Leaps up. It's such a blur that even the camera can't see it. He's got to be so quick with his reflexes that that's a great save.
And would you believe it, in the same match, we got Bruce the blooper.
Yes, I'm not sure that Bruce actually knows what actually happened here, but it all starts on the left-hand side with Terry Gibson on the ball, who crosses the ball in with his right foot. Pretty harmless cross, and Bruce has obviously got his eyes on it up to this moment, and then somehow the ball slips out of his hands, and I don't think Dennis Wise can believe his luck when it bounces onto his head and he heads it into the empty net. Looking at Bruce's face there, he doesn't know how he's done it himself, and I'm sure one or two Liverpool defenders are saying what's happened. And I think we could actually see that Bruce puts his fingers up to say, yes, that one's down to me.
Amongst our selection from November, a great performance from a World Cup hopeful, David Seaman, super saver. Everton denied by the Dons. Sega's Dutch courage. At Old Trafford we've got a combination clearance, Leighton and Bruce, defensive duo. We start though with Brian Gunn.
Rocastle wants to shoot. It's an interesting effort too until it was blocked. Winterburn keeping the pressure on. Quinn beautifully down for Thomas. Exhilarating football. And I include the save in that from Brian Gunn. Arsenal's corner. Quinn's header. And Adams! It was a very good chance. After Quinn had really forced his presence, and Gunn made a terrific save. Mulby broadens the range of Liverpool's passing. Look at that. Barnes, McMahon in the middle. He's unmarked, and Rush. Oh, terrific goalkeeping. A high-class save. McMahon may well have been heading for goal himself. Great save. Liverpool come again. Rush, Barnes, facing Channing, setting up Steve McMahon, off the goalkeeper's fingertips, corner.
Yes, touchdown by Hodge. Now Rice. It's Parker. Chapman. Clough. Opening up for him here! Beautiful save by Leighton!
Ebrel trying to take on Phelan. And delivers the cross very well indeed. McCall well hit and well held by Sagers. Wimbledon with just one or two alarms and a couple of good saves from Sagers, deserving the share of the situation at half-time, but Poynton wanting to change that straight away. Sagers at full stretch. Cotterill for Curl again. And now Wise, and Everton looking a little shaky at the moment. Southall not content with just reaching the ball. He got enough power into his save to push the ball away from Cork, who was following in.
Cascarino's header. That was a tremendous save by Grobbelaar, because I think that was bound to the top of the net.
This was a super move, actually. Indoors dinks in a beautiful little free kick, showing great save by Brucey, no doubt about that.
Well, everybody knows that free kicks to Liverpool, with the likes of Barnes and Mulby around, can be very dangerous weapons. Barnes takes it. Good save. It's been said before, Jimmy, if he was Brazilian,
well, the chances always were that Barnsley was going to take it, and what a good save.
Wallace. McClare for Wallace. Chelsea are open up here. It's Danny Wallace. Well saved by Besant. Hughes. The goalkeeper made his own luck then. It was one-on-one.
1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1.
Played through by Hazard, he's onside, Chelsea could win it, they can still win it with Dixon. Stopped on the line by Bruce. Amazing.
Carter, Waddock. Here is Gary Waddock. Carter, plenty of space for him. Oh, it's a good try, and the young keeper did very well.
Sheffield Wednesday really being lifted by the occasion here. Look at that from Atkinson. Worthington taking it on the run, checking what's in the centre, and David Hurst is arriving, and Grobbelaar had no right to keep that out, but he did.
Well, Ray, at the end of Saves Galore, you're going to have to pick out your personal save of the season, and in November we saw a quite outstanding effort from David Seaman, QPR in England, against Liverpool.
Yes, it all started down the right-hand side with John Barnes. Here we see him taking it down the right, teasing McDonald and then chipping a lovely ball in with his left foot. McMahon's got himself free and directs a header to Seaman's left hand, and then Rush reacts quicker, gets in a header, which means that Seaman has had to change his body weight, change his position to touch the ball over the bar. Now I can tell from experience that it's very difficult when you're going one way and your full body weight is on one leg to try and adjust and go back the other way. And here we see it from no more than 4 yards, instant reaction, quick change of body weight, and touches the ball over the bar. A tremendous save.
And now one of those combined efforts that we talked about at the start of the video, Manchester United's Jim Leighton and his centre-half Steve Bruce in the match against Chelsea at Old Trafford.
Yes, it's a great example for youngsters really. Here we see Mickey Hazard playing Kerry Dixon through here. Now Kerry's through with a clear shot on goal really. Now Jim Leighton doesn't come rushing out and commit himself. He comes out to the correct position, makes Kerry Dixon waste a little bit of time, which allows Bruce and Palliser to get on the line. We see Leighton block the first shot. Now all of a sudden Dixon's got a problem. He's got 2 people to beat on the line, and he hits Bruce, and eventually the effort is cleared completely. So that's good goalkeeping by Jim Leighton.
Up to Christmas now, and a few gifts offered by our star keepers. The league's most expensive keeper had a fine month. Nigel Martin, 1 in a million. Liverpool are frustrated by the Charlton keeper. Boulder bars the way. Let's start with some good work from Manchester City's number 1. Dibble at the double.
Beardsley, Houghton, and Ray Houghton, denied by Dibble. Staunton, oh, and Dibble again. Excellent goalkeeping. 2 different problems really he was faced with, and look at Grobbelaar's reaction. And this is McMahon. Rush in the centre. Houghton is there as well, and Beardsley is blocked on the line by Redmond. Liverpool asked for handball. I don't think they're going to get it. Well, Beardsley might have had a bagful in this game. It's still just the 1 to him, the 2 to Liverpool. McMahon picked his pass, and Redmond literally the last line of defence.
It's aimed for Dixon. McDonald got up. Only as far as Bumstead. Good save from Roberts. A young keeper rich in promise. He's done a great job standing in for David Seaman. Watched that all away and stuck out a hand at the last moment.
Beardsmore coming in, and that's a marvellous save from a rather angry Nigel Martin. Ince taking them all on and getting in across. McClare! What a game Martin is having. Ince made all the running. McClare went for goal, and Martin was there to stop him.
Lead. Oh, they've got Pekin. Horn out to meet him and did just enough. Peak clean through. It was reflex stuff from Horn.
Lee. Hit it well! but Martin saw it coming. Nigel Martin with another athletic save. McClare, Wallace through the centre this time. Hughes peels off to his right. McClare joins in. Mark Hughes against Grobbelaar. McClare was hoping that Hughes could have rolled it across the face of the goal. That would have been difficult to do at that speed.
But that's another good chance for them, isn't it? Good build-up play. Brave goalkeeping, tremendous goalkeeping.
Oh, picked up by Pardew. Still Pardew. Here's Bright. Marvellous one-handed save from Besant. Free round it. Arrigo's there, perhaps not coming at the right angle, but caught it well. And Martin pushed it away. A strange angle to come from, but Martin wasn't fooled for a moment and made a good stop.
Staunton's cross, it's a deep one too. Rush has got round the back, retrieved it brilliantly. And this is Gary Ablett. Boulder beats it out to Rush again. Nicol keeping the pressure on. Barnes is in there. And Boulder has prevented Whelan finally from giving Liverpool a goal that seems certain. Barnes in pursuit. And Joe McLaughlin labouring rather. A foul by McLaughlin, a penalty for Liverpool. Here goes Rush. Oh, and Boulder. Another fantastic save. Away by Hussein, not very far. Seized on by Steve McKenzie. And Grobbelaar with an audacious catch.
Here comes Spurs again. Gascoigne, here's Allen. And Lineker! And somehow Sutton kept that out.
Well, Ray, coming up to Christmas in December, and a couple of examples why Crystal Palace decided to pay £1 million for Nigel Martin.
Yes, the first one coming up now is starts on the left-hand side with a cross coming in from Martin. It's flicked on by McClare at the near post, and Russell Beersmore storming in at the far post with pace, powers a header in, and again a great reflex save there from Nigel Martin with his right hand. And he's far from happy, I think, with Andy Gray for allowing the first cross to come in the first place. The next one we see, which was not long after that, again, it started by Paul Ince, plays the ball into the box here, and Brian McClare, very sharp, gets across the front of the Crystal Palace defender, and again Martin, no real time to see it, no real time to react, but gets a right hand to it and tips it around the post.
Well, we've seen Dave Besant making an outstanding save, but Dave's responsible for our blooper this month, and particularly hurtful for him, Ray, because it comes against his old club Wimbledon in the match at Stamford Bridge. Yes,
against his old club, starting on the left-hand side. Wise and Phelan are involved in a little bit of interplay on the left-hand side of the field there. The ball goes out to Phelan, who plays it back in to Wise, and as the ball comes in, I think Graham Roberts tried a headed back pass here, which Dave Besant has misread a little bit. He takes his eye off the ball right at the last minute, and Alan Cork, who has turned his back on the ball, can't believe his luck and actually shoulders it into the net. I suppose it's coming up to Christmas, and I suppose it saved Dave Besant buying Alan Cork a Christmas present, I suppose.
Into January now, and a man who always guarantees goalkeeping excellence. Southall saves all. Even Neville, though, needs help at times. Snowden stars too. Plus, the Forest keeper in fine form, as Sutton stifles Derby.
Here's Williams. Oh, and Sutton needed to go a second time. Geraint Williams kept it low. It might even have taken a little deflection. Sutton couldn't hold it, but it was a double save, really. Smith. Coventry piling players into the middle now. Speedy got free. Bobby Mims showing again how well he's done since he's had to fill in for Eric Torsfet. That was an outstanding save.
It's Culverhouse. And Crook in space, acrobatically beaten out by Sagers. Andy Townsend well forward again. Rosario! Another fine save from the Wimbledon keeper.
Le Tissier, oh, it deflected off him. And Southall had to make a diving save with one hand. It was a shot, really, that Matthew Le Tissier knew nothing about. Ball was played onto him, and Southall was on his toes. Well, it was the first moment of real worry for Everton, and this is how it happened. The ball was driven by McCall onto Le Tissier, and Southall at full stretch. McCall picked off again by Case. Wallace, he might settle it here, and Southall says no. It was Osman who headed down, and Kevin Moore, it's off the line. An incredible goal line clearance by Snowden. I don't know how he managed to move so quickly.
This time it's Carr on the far side. The cross is not a particularly good one, and Wilson gets it away. His clearance wasn't very good either. It's Carr with a chance to improve on it. Oh my goodness, a terrific shot. Now did Besson get a touch on that one? It was a fantastic shot by Franz Carr. It's gone for the corner, so Besson must have flung himself to get that touch. Just a fingertip, as you can see, and then off the post. Great piece of goalkeeping by Besant. Atkinson. Even when Atkinson comes deep, Johnson faithfully follows him. Oh, but there's some space now for Hurst. Another good save. Hurst again. And it's just gone wide. How close can you get?
Sheridan wants it. Here he is. Oh, nicely done. Having a look. Oh, beaten out by Southall.
Arsenal have got an extra man here. Oh, and Thomas might still get the ball. He looks to chip Torsvet, and very nearly did. It was a perfect response by Thomas, because he'd lost a lot of the momentum in his running, because John Polston just got a piece of the ball there. But Thomas then improvised. Torsvet had started to come out. The Arsenal man thought he could chip the goalkeeper, but Torsvet used his full height to keep it out.
OK, Ray saves galore goes into the 90s. We left poor old Dave Besant with a bit of egg on his face, didn't we, round about Christmas time. At Hillsborough, though, Dave had an outstanding game. We've just seen a great save from Franz Carr, and then he does it again against David Hurst.
Yes, the through ball is delivered here, and Graham Roberts actually plays David Hurst on, and he goes on into the box. Dave sets himself in the correct position and manages to save the ball with his legs, and then as the return shot comes in, he manages to just push it around the post. Now, we'll see in a minute from the side of the goal here what an excellent save it is. David Hurst goes through, strikes the ball cleanly. David manages to stop it with his legs, but then he's very, very quickly to his feet, and as David Hurst shoots again, manages to palm the ball away with his right hand. Now, there's an awful lot of work that is put in on the training ground to make those saves, and it's been particularly pleasing for David that he's actually managed to make that save, because it makes all the hard work and the sweat and the toil and the pain worthwhile.
Well, now we've got another joint effort, a defender really doing well on the line, Ray. Ian Snowden behind Everton's Neville Southall in the match against Southampton.
Yes, it's a different sort of clearance from the other ones we've seen from defenders, but this just shows the importance of keeping fullbacks on the line until the danger's cleared. You can see that when the shot comes in here from Kevin, Neville just manages to nearly touch it, and it goes to the only place that could go in the net if Snowden didn't clear it. So there's two fullbacks on the line, and again, that's a good example for youngsters of keeping fullbacks on the line until the danger is cleared.
We've got a blooper coming up, and a big one as well, because Jim Leighton's especially embarrassed about it, and it also occurred in front of the ITV live cameras in the match against Norwich City.
Yes, it was obviously late on in the game, and Ian Crook here, who's got the ability to strike shots from distance, it's a very powerful shot, and I think that Jim actually changed his mind at the last minute, Thought he was going to catch it, then thought he was going to tip it over the bar, did neither, and Robert Fleck, who was very dangerous in those situations, comes in and strikes at the ball into the net. We see from the side of the goal here, it looks as though Jim's going to catch it, and he's so close to the line, and the power of the shot pulls him back towards the line, and I think then he tried to touch it over the bar, but couldn't quite readjust in time, and we see the end result with a very happy Robert Fleck sticking it in the net.
Amongst the best in February, Brian's Top Gun against Liverpool. At Derby, Seaman shows Shilts. But first, Southall's the Merseyman.
Oh, and it's gone through from Whelan to McMahon. And here's Rush. Oh, and Southall has denied him this time. It was a splendid save too. Well, Neville Southall has got something of a new routine now. He comes out on the pitch 2 hours before the kick-off to get himself sharp physically and mentally. He said it's working for him, and this was testimony to that, to deny the old enemy. Venice working it with Nicol again. Oh, Rush! Is it not going to be today for him? He won't mind as long as Liverpool ultimately win. But Southall suddenly became as wide as a barn door then, when it seemed certain that Rush must beat him yet again. Crook. Blocked by McMahon, volleyed by Townsend. Oh, magnificent! Both the shot and the save. And Grobbelaar, in stretching to his utmost, really, has hurt himself. And Fleck again, a sporting touch, patting Grobbelaar in admiration. Townsend left frustrated. The volley seemed perfect. Not an easy ball to strike, but Townsend must have thought it was going in. But look at Grobbelaar. McMahon looks for Beardsley again and finds him. Up goes Barnes! Oh, and a wonderful save! This fixture seems to bring out the best in goalkeepers. Brian Gunn seemed to have no chance of reaching that.
Whiteside, Cotty battling to get in, Whiteside again! Boulder did well to get down there. It's a fine save.
Harford. Paul Parker made a challenge in the nick of time. But Derby keeping the pressure on. Harford again!
Just wide there from Brian Laws again. Terrific strike there by the fullback, who just flicked off Kilcline and just flicked off Brizovic as well.
This is Sheridan. Oh, and it's going to run for Francis, it is, and Lukic has made a double save.
Again, they're queuing up in the middle here. Barlow goes all the way on his own. And now gets help from Holden in first time to Marshall. Oh, great save! What a great save that was by Parks. Now Milligan, but he's given it away to Kelly. It was a tremendous cross from Holden. Marshall met it perfectly with a downward header and a spectacular stop.
Southampton always very creative from these set pieces. Here comes Case. Osman hit it. Oh, marvellous save from Chamberlain, who wasn't fooled for a moment. It was like Piccadilly Circus in there, as Case went one way, Osman came the other, struck it well, and Chamberlain got right behind it.
Oh, that's great play by Mortimer. Didn't get quite as far as he wanted. But Charlton still in a very good position here. Williams got the header in, and Dibble kept it out at full stretch. Chelsea drive on with Nicholas. Kevin Wilson. Oh, it's a great shot, matched by the save. The curl would have taken it inside that far post, but for Jim Leighton's spectacular intervention, and the watching Andy Roxburgh here will have appreciated the save from Scotland's goalkeeper.
Ray, the pick of the February bunch, and that means a look at John Lukic. The fans at Highbury are behind him. His future there is a bit up in the air, but he's done some splendid stuff in a game at Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes, I think this season has possibly been John's best season for Arsenal, to be fair. I think when he first came in and took over from Pat Jennings, he found it a little bit difficult following the great man, but he's become better and better every year, and what I've seen of him this year, he's probably one of their most consistent players. But obviously George Graham, he sees him every week. He has to make the decisions at the end of the day. If he thinks there's somebody better to play in goal from one of the top sides in the country, then he has to pick them. But this particular save that we're going to see now, against Sheffield Wednesday, the ball starts out on the left-hand side here, and John Sheridan comes onto the ball. It's a good right foot shot, and John stretching to it, can't quite get hold of it, but now he's scrambling across, and as Trevor Francis comes in, he manages to get his body down there and manages to block the ball as such. When we actually see the shot coming in here, I would think John might be a little bit disappointed that he didn't actually catch it. But as he can see, he's scrambling hands and knees any possible way he can to get to the ball, because I'm sure that he thinks, if I don't get there, I'm going to get such a rollicking when I get in at the end of it for not catching the first one.
Into March. Grobbelaar's one-handed wonder at Old Trafford. Dibble's one-handed blunder at Forest. But starting off the sequence, a Spink special for the Villa.
Brian Burrows for Coventry. He'll climb in the dummy! Speedy shot, superbly saved there. Livingston. Speedy, got away from McGrath. Flick towards the far side, Smith's coming in! A terrific save by Spink. Oh, Spink's the real hero, but that was a great Coventry move. And a marvellous flying header by David Smith. Speed his ball across that goal mouth. Here comes Smith, and there once again is Nigel Spink.
That's a great save.
Platt.
Lovely cross, great save.
Rocastle. Good effort! Oh, what a splendid shot! Brilliantly saved. Well, to think he was limping round a moment ago, David Rocastle. He unleashed a beauty. He hasn't scored in the league since the opening day of the season at Manchester United, and only Steve Sutton prevented him from scoring then. Good save.
Clipped in by Lake. Oh, and it... Brilliant save, but White was following in. It was Heath who had the shot. And John Lukic had to go far to his left.
Allen. His flick. Oh, nice turn, well hit. Ogrizovic injured himself in the process of making a very fine save.
Now Priest. And a chance for Luton to put their passes together here. Dowie got in behind Hendry. On from Kingsley Black. The cross from Priest. Dowie! Oh, and it bounced up. But Dibble denied his old club. Pickering. Harris by Platt. Forsyth put into difficulties. An early cross from Platt. Cascarino! Oh, it's a great header. Callaghan follows in. And Shilton produced the sort of save that we've come to expect, really, but this was by far the best moment of the first half. Authentic Cascarino and the real Shilton.
Phelan, that's a good ball played to Russell Beardsmore. A few red shirts are up, including McClare! Oh, a fabulous save by Grobbelaar. Everything about Manchester United's play then was right. Beardsmore's cross, an acrobatic volley by McClare, and an absolutely superhuman piece of goalkeeping by Bruce Grobbelaar.
Almost a carbon copy of the goal McClare got last year, wasn't it?
Villa looking to work the near post corner again. Oh, Madrid, and Seaman with one hand kept it out. Extraordinary save.
Ward typically chasing that. Oh, he's done well. Here's Hendry! Marvellous save from Besant.
Howells on the near post from where he scored so many goals, but he couldn't quite reach it. Howells is still in there, the ball on the ground somewhere. Oh, Grobbelaar produced a marvellous save.
McCall was very determined then. Atterveld. Cottee, is this the hat-trick? Well, it would have been, but for the best of Brian Gunn. Barnes. Oh, and here comes Houghton. Great stop by Flowers. McMahon lines it up.
Ray, we said at the start of Saves Galore how the overall standard has probably been higher than ever this season. And there's a young guy down on the south coast, Tim Flowers of Southampton, who's made quite an impression.
Yes, I particularly like this save because it shows how quick goalkeepers have to move their feet to adjust position from one side of the goal to the other. We can see here that John Barnes is teasing Dodds, the Southampton right back. Eventually gets around him and gets a cross in. Now as it comes into the picture, you can see how Flowers had to move very, very quickly from the right to the left-hand side of the goal there, and as Houghton comes in, he manages to get his body into line with the ball and gets a block, and thankfully for him, McMahon steers the ball wide from the resulting block.
OK, Ray, blooper time, and one of the big talking points of this season. Andy Dibble of Manchester City in the match against Nottingham Forest. Now, I bet you, as a fully paid-up member of the Keepers Union, you're bound to side with Dibble.
Well, I'd like to side with him, but I've got to admit that he really should have done better. As the cross comes in here, his initial save is an excellent one. Moving backwards to the far post, grabs the ball with both hands, picks it up to deliver a quick ball out, but then realises there's nothing on. Puts the ball in one hand, and Crosby comes from behind him and just rolls it in the net. Now then, for me, really, Dibble should have been aware that Crosby was there, because when the ball has actually come into the box, and he's caught the cross, he's known that Paul Lake and Gary Crosby have gone behind him. Now when he actually picks up the ball, as we see him with it now, he's only got the ball in one hand, and to be fair to Gary Crosby, he makes no contact with Dibble whatsoever. He only heads the ball and sticks it in the net. Now I think that Dibble's annoyed with himself as much as he is with the referee's decision, the way he's hit his hand into the ground there.
And now for the final collection. Over to the youngsters. It's tailor-made for Derby, Marvellous Martin for Palace, and Champagne Chamberlain for Luton. First up though, an old master, Neville.
Crosby, Parker again, and Rice lining up the shot. Ooh. Well, Southall dealt with that, but not with the confidence you'd normally expect. It must have been difficult, a real daisy cutter.
Alan, that was an excellent save there by Southall, because I think we'll find this shot from Rice was, yes, it was deflected, and that's an excellent save.
Jury leaves it. Dorigo takes it against the wall. Now Jury, deflected, and Chamberlain helped it on its way.
Towards Alan Smith. Pushed away brilliantly by Spink.
Glanced on well by Russian. Rosenthal has found a gap through the centre here, pursued by Pearce. Round the goalkeeper, no. Crossley did well. Oh, and it's not just goalkeepers who make saves. That was Pearce on the line.
White, oh, skipping past Kenny Sansom. He's got Quinn and Allen arriving. Here's Quinn, brilliantly saved. Allen, side netting.
For McDonald to hammer, and Martin Taylor with a save in the Shilton class. Oh, and Saunders snapped it up. Williams, Southall redeemed Everton then. Bumstead, it's a good effort. Oh, it's an outrageous save by Grobbelaar.
Picked up by Phelan. That's a good ball. Beardsmore. Nicely done. And Bruce must score. Well, he was almost celebrating as Sagers beat it away.
Mulby. Oh, and there's room for Rush now. And for Ray Houghton, but not past Shilton.
Winterburn, floating it high once more towards Smith, knocks it down well. Well, Bold was in there, Smith is in there. Oh, a terrific save.
On from Fashanu, Thorne hit it against Cork, and Martin prevented what would have been an amazing goal with an amazing save.
I suppose understudying Peter Shilton is tremendous in one respect, that you'll learn so many things from the great fella. And when Peter Shilton was injured playing for England, Derby brought in Martin Taylor, who looks a decent prospect to me.
Well, I would think that Martin has been well coached by Peter Shilton, and the clip of action that we're going to see now shows that he's got the ability to make great saves. It's a free kick situation by Everton. The ball is played about 30 yards out to McDonald, who hits a great shot. And I think there's a slight deflection again, and he leaps up and touches the ball over his left hand, and Cotty, who is running in, can't believe that he saved it. Cotty had his hands up there thinking the ball was going in net, and by the looks of McDonald, he also thought it was going in as well.
It's the last blooper, Ray, on Saves Galore, and a pretty painful one for you personally. Eric Torsfed of Spurs in the home match with Coventry.
Well, this is the second year we've done this video, and Eric has managed to be on a blooper on each occasion. The thing is with Eric, that he doesn't make many mistakes, but when he does, they're good ones. And this one here against Coventry is a corker. David Smith takes it in, and Eric, well, I spoke to him after the game about it, and he said it was very windy, but even that couldn't excuse what is really a very poor goalkeeping decision. Finished up walking in the net with the ball.
Not one that he'd been working at on the training ground all week.
No, but we worked on it the following week, I can assure you.
OK, Ray, we've seen 110 outstanding saves, and now it's time to put your head on the block. Pick the best one out for us.
Well, it really is, because we've seen so many goalkeepers making so many great saves. It is difficult. But I've actually gone for a goalkeeper who has been criticised this year, but I still think has more than helped his side win the championship. And the save that I picked was Bruce Grobbelaar, Liverpool against Manchester United, the save from Brian McClare, which is a superb save because the actual execution of the shot was perfect. The cross was good. McClare struck it absolutely perfectly. He could never have hit a volley any better, and only from 6 yards. And somehow Bruce has reacted to turn the ball over the bar. A great, great save.
Oh, that's a good ball played to Russell Beardsmore. A few red shirts are up, including McClare. Oh, a fabulous save by Grobbelaar. Everything about Manchester United's play then was right. Beardsmore's cross, an acrobatic volley by McClare, and an absolutely superhuman piece of goalkeeping by Bruce Grobbelaar.